4 of 6 on the road. They'll be on the West Coast the rest of the way in the regular season. The Giants, the Cardinals, and the Chargers twice out there. Good kickoff with the win by Danelo. Pruitt can't bring it out, so it comes to the 20 on a touchback, and people start up again. Lead. Jim Plunkett's at quarterback. Kenny King and Marcus Allen are his runners. Marcus ahead for 5 yards to the 25-yard line. Like all the great tailbacks, the more he gets it, the more he likes it.
Oh, he loves it because, you know, he figures eventually he's going to break one. He's just looking for that right moment. And, of course, his offensive linemen know the same thing. I guess that's Ferguson coming back on the field, although our reports indicate that he's not going to play anymore today. When he was hit by Rod Martin on that blitz, he took one on the head, and I'm sure he probably has a slight concussion.
2nd and 5. This time they stopped Marcus Allen, a gain of 3 yards. He broke ahead for some yardage when it appeared he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. And the ball's out to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down in about 2. Ben Williams, number 77, a Pro Bowl defensive end last season from Mississippi. Grabs Marcus Allen, knocks him down. It's 3rd and short yardage for the Raiders. I don't know if anybody's told Ferguson, Gene, that he's not going to play again. He put his hat on. He looks like he's ready.
Well, it's a little warmer when you have the helmet on.
3rd down and 2. Raiders. They lead 10-3 early in the 3rd quarter. King goes wide, and great play by Kenny King. Darts outside, and he has a Raider 1st down out to the 40-yard line.
And he got a great block from Marcus Allen. Marcus went in motion. Kenny King jumped to the outside, and Marcus. Watch Marcus Allen on the top part of your screen. You might be able to see it. The block. Well, we didn't see it on that play, but Marcus was the one who enabled King to get outside and pick up that nice gain.
Marcus Allen, a versatile player, was a all-Southern California quarterback coming out of high school and was originally recruited as a defensive back by Southern California. Home run ball. Branch can't quite get to it. Cliff Branch, with that boom speed, just hit the 2nd gear and ran away from the defender, and Plunkett was just a little long. It's tough to overthrow Branch. And into a win, Plunkett's throwing.
What happened on that play is that Charles Rome's number 26 bumped Branch a little bit. If they hadn't collided, I think Branch would have run under that one for the reception. The official didn't call pass interference because he felt that the contact was incidental. But that's what happened. There was a beautiful throw, and Branch could have gotten there had not Rome's bumped him.
Well, no doubt we'll see it again as Rome's 26 at one corner. Mario Clark is the other. The safeties are Freeman and Kennedy. Raiders have the ball at their 40, 2nd and 10. Marcus Allen looks for room and gets ahead to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. St. Louis and San Diego at the half, and the Chargers have come a cropper on this Sunday, losing 37-7.
Saw Roy Green last night. He scored 4 touchdowns. Detroit trailing at the half. Green Bay leading 20-3.
Green Bay is there you are, 20-3 leader over Detroit, leading Green Bay. Green Bay leading Detroit. Excuse me. We're going to get our cards right here. We're going to be great. 3rd down and 7. Jim Plunkett takes a look, dumps it over the middle. A lot of woofing going on out there, a lot of talking. Penalty marker down way back deep in the Bills secondary.
The game before the ball was snapped.
They don't tell me they're putting the score, so I can't give the coach.
Raiders go back into their huddle. The ball will be spotted at the 38-yard line.
Play of the game. Offense. No play. Still 3rd down.
So Tom Flores and the Raiders now look at a long ball down coming up. It'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Raiders at their 38-yard line. They lead the game 10-3. We have 12:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. 2 wide receivers go left. Plunkett gets it away, and Branch is open, but the ball is tipped. Cliff Branch got open, and Jim Plunkett on the run found him, and then Chris Williams from LSU comes in to break it up as the extra DB.
Well, Todd Christensen was a man Plunkett wanted to go to, but the Bills held him up very well. Watch Cliff Branch, number 21, trying to get to the inside. Ball comes. Oop, tipped away. You know, that's a sign of a veteran receiver. When that ball was tipped away, he had no chance. What was the first thing Branch did? Find the defender, make sure he doesn't get a cheap shot.
Well, this time the Raiders don't come out and move the ball as they did in the first half on their first possession. Ray Guy punts. Reddick comes over. He didn't want that one. Remember that it was Reddick who fumbled the punt near the close of the first half, and the Raiders subsequently scored a field goal to open up the 10-3 lead. 33-yard punt, no return. The Bills go on offense for the first time in the third quarter when we come back. Matt Kofler is in. Bills first down from scrimmage in the second half. Kofler looking to go long. He does. Going for the ball is Byron Franklin, and Lester Hayes intercepts. He's not done. Lester Hayes inside the 40, and penalty markers go down at the Bills' 47-yard line. So a second Raider interception. Lester Hayes, a Pro Bowl player. Matt Kofler learning hard here today.
He just enrolled in the School of Hard Knocks. That penalty is going to be against Ted Hendricks. He clipped one of the Bills on the return, but Lester Hayes had the receiver covered all the way. Watch. It looks like Lester's an intended receiver. Look, he's just waiting.
Personal foul.
And you're going to see Ted Hendricks, number 83.
Number 83 on the run back.
The right side of your screen, coming up right there. There he is, right in the back. That's the penalty. Lester with his second interception of the year.
The Raiders say, Gene, as you know, that he'd be a great wide receiver. He has tremendous hands. And Hayes picks it off, and so the Bills are stopped on their first possession. The Raiders have it for a second time in the third quarter, and here's Plunkett looking deep again. Over the middle, he's got Christensen. It's a first down, Raiders east of the 47-yard line of Buffalo. Todd Christensen, the tight end, who will eclipse the single-season receiving record of a tight end for the Raiders. Casper caught 62 back in '77. Christensen has, what, 61 already.
Yeah, Todd has to be careful that he doesn't get too upset by the fact that he feels he's being held, because if he loses his concentration on what he's trying to accomplish on the offensive side, he's not going to get open. He has to forget about what the defense is doing to him.
Bill's trying to hold him off the line of scrimmage. Here's a timing throw, and Cliff Branch has the ball as the Raiders execute beautifully and take it down to the Buffalo 26-yard line. Perfect timing pattern. Jim Plunkett to Cliff Branch, the flyer from Colorado. He was a Texas schoolboy sprint champion out of Houston.
Plunkett makes a nice throw. He doesn't get the ball too high. That enables Branch to get the ball before number 22. That's Steve Freeman. It's very important when you're out there and you're waiting for that ball to come down and you see that safety coming over, you're saying, get here, because you know the guy's just going to level you.
Right now, it's 1st and 10 Raiders. They go to Marcus Allen, and he's down inside the 25-yard line, down to the 22. Be 2nd down and 8 from there. Dave Dalby, the offensive center for the Raiders, is a hard hitter, and here he is in action.
And he's playing against one of the best nose tackles in all of football, number 76, Fred Smerlas. Did you see Smerlas sort of move to the left and all of a sudden come back right? That's called putting one hand out and bringing the defender with you.
It worked, no foul, and the Raiders now have the ball, 2nd down and about 7. They're inside the Bills' 25. Marcus Allen gets a lane, and Freeman saves a big game coming up from the free safety to hit him down at about the 21. Looked like Marcus Allen might turn the corner and take it in.
You were absolutely right. He saved a touchdown on that play. The Bills linebackers were coming up on the blitz. You can see, so once he breaks through there, Freeman is really the only guy that can save the touchdown. Marcus nearly got outside. Cliff Branch was out there leading the cheers. As we watch them measure, let's take a look in the first half. The number of times that the Raiders on first down gained 4 or more yards. They had 15 attempts, and on 8 times they were successful in gaining 4 or more. The Bills, 8 attempts, only 3 times were they successful. Now, you know what this means, Don, is that on first down, if you gain 4 yards or more, you continue to put a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense. If you're 2nd and 6 or less, now the defense, they don't know whether you're going to run or pass. It's completely your option. You keep them guessing. That's the importance of that statistic.
Right now, the Raiders have a first down and 10, and they go to the run, and Kenny King, working hard, gets it inside the 15-yard line down to about the 12. So the Raiders mounting a challenge here in the third quarter with 9:58 to play in the quarter. Raiders leading as they did at the half, 10-3.
You know, the Raiders would love to throw in this situation. When you get down around a 15-yard line, it's a great place to throw the ball, but most teams play man-to-man defense. And the problem is when you're down here against the Bills, they tend to play a lot of zones. So if you're going to throw, you're going to have to get it in between the seams or underneath.
2 wide receivers come right. Malcolm, Barnwell, and Branch, they go to the run, and Greg Pruitt takes it up the middle, and he's down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. It's a Raider first down. They'll be first and goal from the Buffalo 4.
Yeah, it's nice to have a guy like Greg Pruitt, who was an all-pro in his own right many years at Cleveland, who can come in off the bench and give you that quick burst. He only had 97 yards rushing in the entire season. 16 attempts coming into today's game. Now Marcus is checked back in.
Marcus Allen in the backfield with Kenny King. First and goal, Raiders at the Buffalo 4. You'll recall the last time they had a chance like this, they lost it on a fumble. Here's Marcus Allen. Not this time. Marcus Allen takes it in for a Raider touchdown. Both arms on the ball, and Marcus Allen's on the payoff end, and the Raiders now open up a 16-3 lead.
Well, in the first quarter, the Raiders ran left behind Bruce Davis and Charlie Hanna. Now they're going to the right. Number 70, Henry Lawrence, a man with a big block. Kenny King, number 33, he ran through. No one for him to block. He says, hey, I'll just get in and help Marcus celebrate.
Right side of the Raider line. Lawrence and Marvin in the center. Dalby just powering out. Now Bahr to try the point after, and the Raiders will have command of the game if he hits it. It's on the way, and the Raiders extend their lead to 17-3 as we'll watch Marcus Allen take it into the end zone for the Raiders' second touchdown of the day.
The Raider offensive line continues to dominate the Bills. They're having it their way. We'll be back in a moment.
2 touchdowns today, both on 62-yard drives. The first 11 plays. This one on 7, and now the wind kicks up, and Chris Bahr loses the football off the tee. Flag is straight out. Get mean here, and winter starts to set in, although the temperature is an unseasonably mild 63 degrees.
You can see it blows over for a third time. They're going to have someone come over and hold it.
Clay Montgomery says, I'll do that. He comes over. Kick coverage. Hate to lose a guy downfield, though, on the dead run.
Well, this is going to be a real factor for Buffalo. They're behind, and they need to put the football in the air. When the wind's blowing like this, makes it very treacherous throwing it.
A spinner downfield, and Dan Williams comes up with the ball. Turns the corner to the 10, to the 15, and gets out across the 20. Very nearly a misconnection downfield when the ball came spinning down. Halftime score. Matt Kofler at quarterback. Can't make a living running the ball at the Raider defense. The Bills, as we pointed out earlier, have had virtually no success running the ball consistently. When they've moved the ball, it's been with the pass. Their last 19 touchdowns of this season have all been scored on throws by Ferguson.
3-yard gain.
The Raiders will have great control of what will happen down the stretch as they come into the day with a 2-game lead over Denver and Seattle, and the Raiders to be on the West Coast for the rest of the regular season against all teams that are under 500. The Giants, the Cardinals, and the Chargers twice, although they're very concerned about playing San Diego anytime. Dan Williams runs hard, and the Raiders stick hard. Rod Martin, the outside linebacker from Southern California, comes up, makes the hit. Short gain on the play.
But he got some help from number 77. There he is, Lyle Alzado. Watch how he fights off the block from Ken Jones, strings it out, and watch the effort here. Jumps over, gets in on the tackle.
Tremendous play. Great matchup. Alzado against one of the best tackles in the league, and Ken Jones. Now the Bills are faced with long yardage. Every time Kofler's tried to throw the long ball, you'll remember he's been intercepted twice since coming in for Ferguson. 3rd and 8. No chance for the long ball when the Raiders come pouring through, and Lyle Alzado is there for the sack.
You know, Lyle has said before that he was so upset when he was traded to the Raiders for proved to everyone that he could still play. And look what he does to Ken Jones. He just simply back and sacks the quarterback. That's a tremendous effort.
He didn't go around the offensive tackle. He went right through him. And so the Bills are forced to punt, and the Raiders will have very good field position. Greg Pruitt's positioned at his 45-yard line to return. Cater hits a good one. Backs Pruitt up to his 36. And he runs it back to the 50, and then a penalty marker comes in. Darryl Talley, rookie from West Virginia, came downfield to make the tackle on Greg Pruitt. A 50-yard punt, but a return of 15 yards. Now we'll see if there'll be a mark off against the Raiders for a foul on the blocking on the return. There's a hold call. 6:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Buffalo's going to get back in this, Gene. They're going to have to get their young quarterback hitting his receivers. Not going to run it.
Number 54 on the return. 1st down.
Darrell Byrd, a young linebacker, called for the hold. So the Raiders are positioned back at their 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there when we come back. Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. The Raiders in white with the ball. 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line, and they have the lead 17-3, 3rd quarter. Jim Plunkett at quarterback. Over the middle, he's got Christensen, the tight end, and he has another Raider 1st down as he's out to the 46-yard line, a gain of 11 yards on the play. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WNBC TV, New York.
Well, there's any question, Gene, that the Miami Dolphins are going to have their share of 1st place intact in the AFC East at day's end. They lead 31-0 over Baltimore now at the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's in the 3rd quarter. Raiders with the 17-3 advantage over the Bills here. 1st and 10, Los Angeles. Marcus Allen. He's ahead for 9 as the Raider offensive blocking continues to overpower the Bill defenders, and Marcus Allen's ahead for a gain of almost 9 yards.
Well, that offensive line is the key. If you look at the score there, Miami in the 3rd quarter over Baltimore, 31-0. Minnesota, 3rd quarter leading Pittsburgh 14-7.
Steelers led
That's
that
a
game.
surprise.
It is. Steelers led it 7-0.
8-yard gain.
Plunkett and the Raiders with a nice down now. 2nd and just over a yard. He might go long. Pattern, he throws to Frank Hawkins, and Hawkins has the 1st down, and he's inside the Buffalo 40-yard line down to the 37. Chris Keating made the tackle. We'll watch from the end zone as the Raiders execute again.
Well, the Raiders like to throw the ball downfield, but they know that Buffalo likes to play zone defense, so therefore they're going to be content to throw the ball underneath, make those linebackers come up a little bit so they can have some room to throw downfield. There's Lester, the molester Hayes, sitting on the sideline. Big interception today, number 2 for the season.
Right now, the Raiders are moving. 1st and 10 for Los Angeles. Greg Pruitt runs it down to the 35-yard line, working hard to get 2 or 3. Right at the Bills' defense. Buffalo with Ben Williams, Fred Smerlas, and Ken Johnson across the defensive front. Linebackers are Lucius Sanford, Chris Keating, Eugene Marv, and Irvin Parker.
Number 91, Ken Johnson, who's playing for an injured Sherman White, has just come out of the game. And that's an area where the Bills are hurting. Number 93, Scott Burkus, has gone in to replace Johnson. But neither one of those fellows provides the impetus that Sherman White does when he's playing.
It's really hurt to have White out with the knee, and he'll be back, though, they hope, next week when the Bills play the Rams at Anaheim. Pruitt on 2nd down and 6, runs hard to the 31. Not done yet. See if the play was whistled dead. guess not. It's clean. Greg Pruitt got out of a net. Got out of jail.
I'll tell you, that was normally in those situations, you know, there would have been a whistle blown. But I guess Greg was alert enough. He didn't hear a whistle. He just kept fighting. Let's watch. There's a big pileup in here. It seems as though the action stopped. He keeps churning now. Normally you'd think the whistle would be blowing, but he comes right out of the pile, picks up another 10 yards. That's alert football.
1st and 10. They go to Marcus Allen. Free ball. The Bills have it. So Marcus Allen with his second fumble of the day. Lucius Sanford, 57 from Georgia Tech, comes up with a free ball. That was a fumble caused by Rock'em Sock'em football. They're not going to hold on when they're hit like that.
These two teams have been at each other all game long. Lucius Sanford is a man who knocks it away. I suppose Marcus Allen with his third fumble of the game got one back, lost two. Lucius Sanford picks it up, but it was someone in the middle who caused that fumble.
Gene Washington, the Bills, recovering a Marcus Allen fumble for a second time. He's coughed it up 3 times in the game, and now the Bills go on offense. Roosevelt leaks, looks for some room, and there's very little there. As on a 1st down carry, Roosevelt leaks, gets barreled to the line of scrimmage, and then head for maybe a yard more. Van McElroy, the free safety for the Raiders, tackled him. You see the Raider dominance in total yardage. More than tripling the Bills' output here through almost the entirety of the 3rd quarter. We have 2 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the quarter. Raiders are leading the game 17-3. They were up 10-3 at halftime.
Kofler's going to have to put the football in the air. He's not going to beat the Raiders running it.
And up in the air it's going to go. Looking downfield, he throws, and it's a reception. Byron Franklin has it, and the Raiders knock him 5 yards back towards his quarterback.
Well, Byron Franklin, playing for the injured Frank Lewis, comes up with a nice reception. I think Lester Hayes thought he was going to drop the ball. He just sort of swats at it. Watch on the right side of your screen. He's going to throw the ball to Byron Franklin out here. Watch what Lester does. Well, he just sort of swatted it in there, tried to knock it away. But Franklin came up with a catch.
So the Bills now have 3rd down and 3 coming up. Raiders with Mike Haynes in the game. He's covering on the right side, right up tight on the wide receiver there. Kofler takes a look. Here comes Alzado. A loop pass downfield. It's not near anybody. Franklin was running a fly, and Kofler was throwing an out pattern. It's
and there's a penalty flag down on the far side, over in the area where Lester Haynes was guarding against Byron Franklin.
It'll be a hold. Defensive penalty, automatic 1st down for the Bills. So they get a break. They would have had to punt the ball. The pass was not close to a completion, but the defensive hold on the Raiders gives the Bills 5 yards and an automatic 1st down.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 37. Defense. Automatic 1st down.
Well, they got Lester. He was guilty of holding Byron Franklin.
Just got word, Gene, that Walter Payton has passed O.J. Simpson on the all-time rushing list. He's now 3rd all-time, behind Jim Brown and Franco Harris. 1st and 10 Bills. Dawkins, 89 in motion, and here is Kofler. A lot of room to run, heading for the sideline. 1st down, Buffalo.
In the 3rd quarter over Philadelphia, 16-0.
Ali Haji Sheikh with 3 field goals for the Giants, who came into the game at 2-8-1. 1st and 10 Bills. Kofler sets up quickly, loops the ball downfield. Tony Hunter, his tight end, had it and couldn't hold it. Bills have started to double team Lyle Alzado to try to hold him out. Watch.
There he is, number 77 in the middle of your screen, and that's 72 Ken Jones, who's blocking from the outside, and he gets some help from the inside. Number 51 Jim Richter. They do a good job
that time.
Right, that time.
Alzado's been a force all game long, though, and now it is 2nd down and 10 for the Bills. Kofler working with the wind at his back.
Comes a blitz.
Turned around, and there's a free ball. Kofler has it again. There's a man open, Julius Dawkins, but he can't get to the ball. So the Bills go into the bag of tricks. Maybe that's what they were doing with their closed practices. And there's a penalty marker down on the field. It was interesting, but in the end, it was nothing.
The problem with the play is that the Raiders had a blitz on. You know, as soon as the blitz came in, it fouled all of the action up. Then it just looked like a sandlot play. From the right side of your screen, we may be able to see it, but the Raiders are coming in with a blitz. You see Cribbs is looking for a handoff. Can't get it to Bahr and Flankman because one of the Raiders had come in. Now it looks like, well, you go long.
Now the other thing, he just got a bobbled ball. Think he intended to throw it back to him?
Oh yeah, but that was intended. That was the flea flicker. Fake the reverse, throw it back to the quarterback, and hit the wide receiver downfield. But the problem is the Raiders' defense fouled things up by coming with a blitz from the outside.
Even if it went, it would have come back because there was a holding call signaled against the Bills. Yard line. 1:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bill Pickell, number 71, a rookie from Rutgers, who's been a good. Continue to lead the favored Patriots 23-0. Bills with a 1st and 5. They can take these 5-yarders all day and march down the field. That's in the best part of their offense, the Raider penalties. Bills go right up the middle, and the run by Roosevelt Leaks comes to an abrupt halt 2 yards upfield. Pickell was on the stop along with Bob Nelson.
You know, Don, sometimes when a team gets a series of penalties, you know, they can start thinking about what's happened so much that they don't play the next down. They lose their poise. But this is one of the things that the Raiders have prided themselves in over the years, is to maintain their poise. And for them on defense in this situation, it's really key. Forget about what happened and play the next down.
I believe the 2 years that they won Super Bowls, they were the most penalized team in the league, the Raiders, because they're so aggressive. Now it's 2nd down and about 3. Joe Cribbs was caught and run down by linebacker Jack Squirick. Big play from a 2nd-year backer from Illinois.
He can really run. You know, a lot of people on the Raider organization compare him to Jack Lambert. And watch him, number 58, he just shoots right through there, grabs Cribbs from behind, holds on to the jersey, pulls him down.
So far today, Cribbs has had little fortune running the ball. He's carried it 7 times for just 11 yards. Averaging 75 yards a game running. He was targeted for a 1,200-yard season if he kept it up, but today the Raiders have shut him down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. LA 17, Buffalo 3. Will be back after these messages from your local station. With Gene Washington, we're ready to open the 4th quarter. The Raiders lead the Bills 17-3. The Bills have 3rd and 8 coming from their 46-yard line. And Lyle Alzado got an early jump.
I think that's going to be on Ken Jones, though. I think Ken raised his hand a little too soon. See, Lyle is an experienced player. He knows as soon as that offensive guy raises his hand, go across the line. Well, we don't see Ken Jones on the outside, but he lifted his hand up. As soon as Lyle saw it, he came across.
It's the bull and the matador there. Kofler stood in. He knew he couldn't hit him. The whistles were blowing, or he knew he shouldn't hit him. Now the ball is set back to the 42-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 for the Bills. To compound Buffalo's problems as we open the 4th quarter, Kofler and the offense will be walking into the wind. Two wide receivers to either side for Buffalo on 3rd and 13. Down goes Kofler back at the 29-yard line. Greg Townsend, a rookie from Texas Christian, number 93. And Bill Pickell come pouring through, 71.
Number 93, Greg Townsend, who's very explosive off the ball. Comes in right in the middle. He's just pushing people away. There he is, number 93. He and Bill Pickell, they combined for the sack. You know, there's several young Raider players, Townsend, McElroy, Caldwell, and they're all Raider types. All of them love to hit. They just love to hit people. That's the kind of football players the Raiders love to have.
Now Cater has a problem with his punt. Off the side of his foot, it's going to roll dead at the 46-yard line. It's got to be a rookie picking up a punt and running it. Gary Thompson, a rookie from the Bills, tried to run with his own punt. It'll be the Raiders' ball when we come back. Now on the scoreboard and in the offensive stats, leading the game 17-3. They have the ball first down and 10 now, just across their 45-yard line do the Raiders. Very important score at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Minnesota Vikings leading the favored Steelers 17-7. The Vikings perhaps on the way to a major upset that would help the Raiders measurably as the Raiders go to a run on first down. Right now, Pittsburgh has the home field in the American Conference with a 9-2 mark coming in. The Raiders, if they had to play at Pittsburgh, it would be a tough ball game, and conceivably could be that in the playoffs, the championship game in the American Conference. The Bears doing well with Walter Payton running the ball, leading Tampa Bay 20-0 in the fourth quarter. Payton scored 2 touchdowns in that game and has passed O.J. Simpson, and Walter is now third all-time in rushing behind Jim Brown and Franco Harris. Second down and 6 coming up for the Raiders, and Jim Plunkett. Frank Hawkins makes a great reception, stabs at the ball, and somehow comes up with it and gets ahead, and there's a penalty marker down.
There was a little confusion on that play. The Raiders had both of their running backs coming across the middle. Well, there's the indication it's going to be holding against the Bills. But watch this play. You're going to have 2 halfbacks crossing across the middle. Plunkett almost stumbles. Hawkins comes up with it. But look, Marcus Allen is right there, and he thought it was thrown to him.
Number 29, defense.
Hawkins does a good job of holding on the ball. He almost lost it.
They've been striking hard from the opening kickoff. Raiders, the last time they were here, took a bad beating in '80, losing 24-7. They've never won at Buffalo in the new stadium. And over the years, the Bills are virtually the only team in the American Conference that has played the Raiders even. They've split 22 previous games. First and 10 Raiders, and Marcus Allen is hit at the line of scrimmage and does well just to get back to where the scrimmage started. Now we'll switch to NFL now. Hammering at him. The Browns could end the day just 2 games behind Pittsburgh. Steelers are losing. Plunkett gets time, cocks and throws. He's got Christensen, and he's inside the 25. Not done till he gets to the 19-yard line. Plunkett had a problem, got away from it with a quick step, and then the strong arm. He delivered a strike to number 46, and it'll be first and 10 Raiders.
Well, Christensen was covered when Plunkett first looked at him. He went away, then he came back. Look, he just throws it right in there. And sometimes when you know, top receiver, you just have to beat double coverage. Look, a lot of pressure off the line, looking for the spot there, nothing there. Safety coming up, trying to protect. That's number 21, Michael Kennedy. But Plunkett throws it in anyway, and Christensen legs it out.
27-yard gain. Now the run is going to be a knockdown at the 18-yard line, and Marcus Allen got only to Kenny King to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be second down and 10 for the Raiders with 12 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Raiders in the late 17-3.
Frank Hawkins has just checked in for the Raiders.
Joe Ferguson, the Buffalo quarterback, has been on the sideline since the second quarter when he was KO'd on a sack by 2 Raiders. He was sandwiched. Jim Plunkett has gone all the way. He came in as a starter last week after Mark Wilson was hurt. Marcus Allen runs with the ball. He's fumbled 3 times today, and twice the Bills have recovered, but this time Allen takes it down on a 2nd and 9 play to the 15-yard line.
You can bet that the Bills are going to be going for the football, particularly when Marcus has it. They'll start trying to tackle the football, and he's going to have to be very careful, and when he gets into that line, he's going to have to put both hands on it.
Marcus Allen, who scored 14 touchdowns as a rookie in the strike-shortened NFL season a year ago, once rushed for 2,300 yards in a single season as a collegiate.
Oh, that should be a personal foul.
Raiders won't
That's going to start.
that.
Oh. Eugene Marv just came in and decked Plunkett, and his teammates are not going to take it. I'll tell you what, when they clear the pile, it should be a personal foul against Marv.
Mickey Marvin coming off. That Eugene Marv has to have a full case of strong, though. He picked up Mickey Marvin, who weighs about 280, and threw him.
Well, if things weren't,
but there's no question,
if
there's
things
going to be a
weren't bad
personal foul
enough.
call.
Defense, disqualification. Personal foul. Number 65.
The red card is the
watch.
Oh, Raiders.
He knew that he'd gotten over. He knew that he'd gone across the line before the ball was snapped, but nonetheless, he went ahead and hit Plunkett unnecessarily.
So Eugene Marv is gone for the day, the Bills' best inside backer. A personal foul and ejection from referee McElwee. He's not leaving now. He will.
Well, he is now.
So Joey Lumpkin comes in. Bills lost their quarterback when he was hit hard by the Raiders. They'll be buoyed by the news that the Steelers are losing 17-7. Those two teams, the Raiders and the Steelers, contending for the best record in the AFC. And the subsequent home field advantage in the playoffs. Here's Plunkett on the run. Wide open is Todd Christensen. It's a touchdown for the Raiders. So Plunkett, time and again in this game, when he's had a scramble, when the pressure's been on, has spotted the man and drilled it.
Todd Christensen made a nice catch in the end zone. He was all alone, but Jim Plunkett made the play. He was rolling out to his right. He was looking for Christensen, but Christensen was covered. He put a lot of pressure on the defender. The defender decided to come up to take Plunkett. Now watch, he's going to get out to the outside. Now he has the pressure on the defender. The defender had to make a decision. Jim runs, pulls up. Now Christensen is all alone in the end zone. 6 points.
Jim Plunkett's undergone surgery, knee and shoulder and arm, 7 times in his career, but he is looking as good or better than he ever has. Running, throwing, Bahr with the extra point. And with 10:55 to play in the game, the Raiders now open up a 24-3 lead. The Raiders kick it off, and we come back to Buffalo.
Not afraid to run, not afraid to take a blow. And I tell you, he's always been a winner in my book, and today's no exception.
He's had a terrific day and a very important win for the Raiders as the Bahr kickoff with the win goes out of the end zone. The Steelers are losing, and the Raiders could be tied with Pittsburgh for the best record in the American Conference at day's end. They'd both be 9-3 the way things are developing now. Some real blowouts going on. Miami is burying Baltimore. It's 37-0 in the fourth quarter. The underdog Browns having a great day at Foxborough. And of course, this is a doubleheader day on NBC. Most of you will be seeing Kansas City go against the Cowboys at Irving, Texas. Other parts of the country, Seattle and Denver, the two teams tied for second in the AFC West. They'll be meeting at Mile High Stadium in Denver. It's 1st and 10 for the Bills at their 20-yard line. Markers down as Kofler moves downfield, gets ahead for a 9-yard gain, but it looks like there could be a hold against the Bills, and there is.
There it is. Howie Long, I think, is the man who drew that holding call. He just flew in there, forced the quarterback out of the pocket. This is such a tough situation for the Bills to be in now, particularly with a young quarterback.
Number 61, offense, 1st down.
Well, that's Tom Lynch. Guilty man. In this situation where you have to throw the ball, young quarterback, young receivers too. Byron Franklin playing for Frank Lewis, who is injured. Julius Dawkins on the other side. It's a tough task.
Probably an insurmountable one with 10:43 left to play and the Raiders in the lead 24-3, but Buffalo is going to be pitching with a 1st and 20 coming up. Raiders love this position. Tee off and come. There's a great throw and a first down to Tony Hunter. His first catch of the day is good for a gain of 24 yards. So the #1 draft choice for Notre Dame, Tony Hunter, gets the ball over the middle, and the Bills get out of trouble for the moment.
Tony Hunter has been compared to Kellen Winslow because he has the speed and size to operate both as a tight end and a wide receiver. We're going to see him catch the ball down in the middle of the field. The Raiders are playing zone defense. They throw it underneath. That's Van McElroy, number 26, who makes the tackle. But Tony Hunter can really fly for a big man.
6'4", 235, and he does have the deep speed. It's 1st and 10 Bills. Here's Kofler standing in. The rush comes. He eludes it. Takes a look. Throws on the run. The ball is caught. And there's a penalty marker down. Byron Franklin hangs on at the 48-yard line, and there's a penalty marker in. I don't think it's going to be against Byron Franklin.
It may be a personal foul. One of the Raider defenders, let's watch on the right side of your screen, is number 85, Byron Franklin. Now let's watch. You're going to see a Raider defender come in and try to bat the ball away, but I think the official may call a personal foul. Watch, right, trying to knock the ball away, but he's got Franklin right in the face mask. There's a flag.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 22 defense, first down.
Mike Haynes, he didn't commit many fouls.
Well, Mike was trying to knock the football away, was trying to bat it down. I think the official just saw the arm coming across, and anytime you get an arm or an elbow up near a player's face, you know, they're going to go right away for a personal foul.
What an acquisition he is for the Raiders. 7 previous years in the league at New England, 7 years Pro Bowl performer. 1st and 10 Bills. They keep moving down the field. Here's a throw and a strike down to the 23-yard line. Julius Hawkins goes down and turns back at the ball, and the throw is perfect by the quarterback, Matt Kofler, who's really starting to heat up now.
Well, one of the reasons he's being successful now is that the Raiders have chose to play a zone defense instead of the man-to-man they play a lot. They're doing that because they have such a big lead. They don't want anybody to throw the ball over their heads and get a quick score. They're going to be content to let Buffalo try to throw the ball in front of the linebackers or in the seams.
Raiders have a 24-3 lead. Kofler with some interesting numbers, had those 2 interceptions. You remember earlier when he threw deep and the Raiders were waiting. On 1st and 10, a pump fake and into the end zone. Hunter's open. Touchdown, Buffalo. And a touchdown, Kofler to Tony Hunter.
Well, the Bills caught the Raiders in a man-to-man. They shifted from their zone defense, went to man-to-man, and he's going to beat number 26, Van McElroy. And we talked about the speed that he has for a tight end, and you can see he really outdistanced him by about 5 yards, no one around.
And now Joe Danelo will try the point after, so there's still 8:54 to play. It's 24-9. Bills looking for their 10th point of the day. No problem with that, but they've still got a lot of ground to make up. They'll be kicking it off, will the Bills, when we come back. The wind continues to blow, and the Raiders continue to lead, but by less. Kick it off, a chip shot down. They're trying to kick it away. Rolling down and rolling out, and it'll come back, and they'll try it from the 30. 8:49 left to play, a long way to go, and Kofler on that last drive throwing the ball so well did it, Gene, into the wind, although the wind has died down for the moment.
Well, as you mentioned, he has a very strong arm, and of course, you know, they practice back here, so the quarterbacks get accustomed to this type of weather. But he had a nice target to throw to. Tony Hunter legging it out to the corner of the end zone. Beautiful reception for 6.
Joe Danelo and Miller McCalman, the special teams, hammer this straight away. Lee Montgomery cuts the ball. It's a muff, though. If it goes into the end zone, he can down it. It'll come out as a touchback. It's not a fumble ball. The fans think it is. So it'll come out to the 20 for the Raiders, and they'll go 1st and 10 from there. With 8:41 to play, and the Raiders in the lead 24-10. I think it was a fumble.
Well, as you pointed out, Don,
They paid their money. They can think what they want.
if the receiver doesn't have possession of the football and it goes into the end zone, it's just a touchback, not a safety. He must have control of it, then lose it for the other team to gain possession or for it to be a safety.
We apologize to those of you who are inadvertently switched away from the game. Switching error and the telephone company switching center. We're back at Buffalo. Don Criqui with Gene Washington. Raiders have the ball in a 24-10 lead in the fourth quarter. Frank Hawkins, who scored the game's first touchdown, runs it on first down, but not for very much.
Penalty flags down. There's another fight.
These guys came out of the locker room swinging today. Chris Keating, Eugene Marv, and Clay Montgomery. Raiders now with a 1st and 20 coming up. A lot of time left, 8:33. Plunkett, home run ball. There's some speed going for that one, and the Bills break it up. Charles Romes goes for the ball and knocks it down. Dokie Williams, the rookie from UCLA, world class in track and field as a collegiate. He was a triple jumper and a great sprinter.
Dokie can fly, but Charles Romes can also run. The problem on that play was that Plunkett threw the ball up there. He had a lot of distance on it, but the wind got a hold of it. And you could see that both fellows were slowing down a bit, waiting for the ball to come down. As I mentioned before, with this wind picking up, having to throw the ball can be a real problem. It's going to be more of a problem, though, for the Bills because they're trailing here 24-10. And they have to keep the ball in the air.
Raiders with the wind at their back, but the Bills move the ball the best since Kofler's been in, going into the wind their last drive. And he could catch the ball with one hand to intercept. He has fantastic hands. A terrific guy in addition. Well deserving of a Hall of Fame spot if he gets one. And now Marcus Allen gets stuffed at the 10-yard line. The Bills heat up. They're not cashing in on this one with 8:15 left to play. 3rd down and 20 comes up. The Raiders huddling at their leisure. They want to run as much clock as they can. Game clock down to 8:08 to play.
These fans are so fired up. You know, when you're down on the field and the fans get yelling and excited, you actually feel it. I mean, it can really give you a boost. The fans know it, and they're trying to get their troops stirred up here. If they can prevent the Raiders from getting the 1st down, they're going to have the football in good field position.
Jim Plunkett, 3rd and 20. He's got Marcus Allen, and he's down at the 16-yard line, so the Raiders have to punt with 7:39 left to play in the game.
Right down the field.
Penalty marker down. They're going to have a call signaled against the Raiders.
Holding, number 46, offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
The Bills decline the penalty because they want to get that ball back. Watch the left side of your screen. That's 46. Oh, Todd Christensen. Oh, Irvin Parker. Look what he did. Whew. How did the officials miss that one?
So they move right through the Raiders, their last possession to score, and they're going to get the ball back now. Ray Guy inside his 5-yard line. But can you get the Bills coming early? They're not going to. They just want to run clock off. There's the snap. Whoa, they get him. They knock him down inside the 10. The big rush, and Guy was unable to punt. Darryl Talley, an All-American linebacker at West Virginia last year, was the guy who broke through, number 56, and forced Ray Guy to run. We're not done yet in Buffalo. Don't go away. Like a playoff game, the way this crowd has risen up. Oh, Raiders are worried, and with reason. Watch Darryl Talley, 56.
You're going to see Ray Guy, that's number 24, Gary Thompson, coming in from the left. Ray Guy knew if he punted that ball it was going to be blocked, so he was much better off not taking a chance. Watch, he knows it's going to be blocked. There's number 24.
Gary Thompson, number 24, not Darryl Talley.
He wisely decided to hold on to the football. If he tried to punt it, got it blocked in the end zone, it would have been a touchdown.
It was Gary Thompson who came through and forced Ray Guy to run. And now the Bills have the ball, 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Takes it ahead, and he goes down inside the 5. It's the 2nd and goal from there. The Bills will be right back in this with a lot of time left if they can get it in. This is a tough group to move on, though, the Raider defense. Howie Long and Lyle Alzado. The defensive ends converge to make the tackle.
Well, the Bills have their very dangerous weapon in Joe Cribbs in the game, and they love to throw the football to him when they get down close.
Hawkins is wide left. Byron Franklin goes on the right flank. Kofler down to the goal line. Is he in? Third and goal. He didn't get in, but the nose of the ball is almost touching the line.
Kofler wanted to get the football to Joe Cribbs.
Now the Bills with a big down the crowd. 70,000 plus stands. The roar starts. It's 3rd and goal from inches out. Big breakup by the Raiders. Van McElroy, 26, the free safety, slapped the ball down. So the Raiders now force the Bills into 4th down, inches away, and the Bills have to go for it.
I'm awfully surprised that they threw the football in that situation. Number 20, Joe Cribbs. You can see him right on the, he's on the right side of your screen. He's going to come in from the right, trying to get the ball to him, but Van McElroy comes in and makes a diving attempt and knocks the football away.
Bills want a minute. The Bills break the huddle. We welcome those of you who've just joined us. Don Criqui with Gene Washington. Buffalo 4th and goal from inches out against the Los Angeles Raiders. Cribbs is over the top. It's a touchdown, and Buffalo's back in the game. The Bills were out of it, down 24-3. Joe Cribbs over the top for Buffalo's 2nd touchdown, and now if they can get the extra point, they'll be down by 7.
But it took a tremendous effort. Look at that leap. He goes up really high, breaks the plane for the 6 points. And I'll tell you, Matt Kofler has brought this team back. Of course, they really set things up when Ray Guy wasn't able to get off that punt. They tackled him down on about the 15-yard line or so. And now they're going to come within 7.
Raiders coming over the top. It'll be a 24-17 game. Danelo, though, has to hit the extra point. He does. We got something going at Buffalo. 5:54 to play, and the Bills are back in the game 24-17 after losing their quarterback, Joe Ferguson, when he was knocked out in the 2nd quarter. Defense, though, they stuffed the Raiders their last 2 possessions. The Raiders couldn't even get off a punt the last time. Ray Guy had to try to run, and he was down. The Bills subsequently went in. Now it's a 24-17 game with 5:54 to play. Fumble ball, and Pruitt fumbles it. Free football. I think Buffalo has it. Got to get the official signal, but this is an unbelievable turnabout. I'll tell you, there's some fighting going on down there, Gene, over that football.
When the ball gets lost down there, the officials come up and give it to the Bills.
Tom Flores stunned as Buffalo trailing by 7, 1st and 10, and the Raiders stuff the run. Hendricks, 83, makes the stop. Big play for Los Angeles as Joe Cribbs, Buffalo, as 2nd down and 11 comes out. 2nd and 12. From the 25. Kofler with a problem. Throws, he gets Joe Cribbs, and he's inside the 25-yard line. Very little gain, though. Right now, a big down for the Bills, who trail by 7. 3rd and 11. Matt Kofler from the shotgun. They're trying to isolate Cribbs on a linebacker. Penalty marker, though, before the snap. Cribbs is running an end zone pattern against Jeff Barnes. He had the linebacker on him. That's how they beat the Jets last week.
I think this is going to be a motion penalty against the Bills.
Number 73,
there it is.
offense.
Buffalo trailing 24-7. Out of speed on the flanks, ready to run deep.
Crick is going to throw it.
Throws to Kofler and didn't work. So the Raider defense comes up with 3 downs of successful football now, and the Bills have 4th down and 16 coming up.
Well,
4:47 to play.
I think number 81, Perry Tuttle, is in the ball game. They're going for speed.
They've got all speed. 5 wide receivers are in. 4th and 16 for the Bills, who need this play. There's a throw. A man is open. It's touchdown Buffalo. Tuttle, and the good times have started to roll here in Buffalo.
Perry Tuttle, a #1 draft choice out of
draft choice from Clemson, his first touchdown catch. The extra point by Danelo is good, and so with 4:41 to play, the Bills have tied the game. Kansas City playing the Cowboys at Irving, Texas. Seattle at Denver. We got a long way to go in Buffalo as Danelo puts a rocket shot into the ball. Doki Williams, he caught it inbounds. He's got to come back. And he is buried at the 16-yard line. There's actually a space, Gene, of 6 minutes and 10 seconds in the 4th quarter where the Bills scored 21 points. Both teams have had 2 players ejected for fighting. There's been more flags than you can count.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, 56 defense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
So it's a push, nothing happens. Why call it?
Fouls after the play.
Well, there's number 56. That's Darryl Talley. He was one of the guilty parties.
But Taylor's made some big plays. He was one of the guys that busted through on that punt, and then Gary Thompson came from the other side and forced Gray Guy to run. And then the Bills subsequently went in for a touchdown. And then another score with the throw to Tuttle a moment ago. It's a 24-24 game.
Well, if the Raiders ever needed poise, they do right now. They've got 80,000 people against them.
Pride and poise, the motto of the Los Angeles Raiders. Plunkett drops to throw. He looks, he throws. It's intercepted. No, it's caught by Todd Christensen. A great catch by Christensen. A Bill linebacker had a play on the ball, and Christensen comes up with the reception as he is now out to the 24-yard line. But the Raiders a long way from a scoring area. They do, we must remember, have the wind at their back.
Well, when you're in trouble, you go to the guy who's expected to come up with them, and for the Raiders, that's Todd Christensen. Plunkett finds him underneath the linebackers. He goes up high, makes a good catch. You know, this game is really set up, though, for a typical Raider finish. Just under 4 minutes to go, they can march the ball down. They've got plenty of time.
Frank Hawkins runs it at the outset of the game. You heard Jim Plunkett. Plunkett took the team down the field, and Bahr kicked the winning field goal with 2 seconds to play. Now the game is tied, 24-all. Swing pass goes out to Hawkins. And Hawkins is out to the 34-yard line on a first down play. He's ahead for about 7 yards. So the Raiders start to open up and get some offense. They've been very dry for a long time now against this Buffalo defense.
Well, Buffalo is number 46, Todd Christensen, and that's who Plunkett loves to go to anyway.
He really does. The tight end Christensen, he's strong to the left. Set to the left side of the line of scrimmage. To the run. Hard hit. Joey Lumpkin, who's come in for the ejected Chris Keating, makes the stop along with a strong safety, Michael Kennedy, 21. And you see the game clock winding down in the 4th quarter. 2:20 to play. Raiders 24, Bills 3 not that long ago. Now it's Raiders 24, Bills 24 as the Bills have scored 3 touchdowns in just over 6 minutes in the 4th quarter. The rain has started up and the wind is heavier.
There's a 2-minute warning.
Plunkett wisely waits for it in the official timeout. He goes over to the sideline to talk with Tom Flores. And now here comes another one of those fantastic finishes. 3 in the fourth quarter, the Bills will come back to tie the game. Now with 2 minutes to play, it's 3rd and 2 Raiders. Allen gets ahead, and we'll see if Marcus Allen got to the 39-yard line for the Raider first down. The clock is running. We could very well be going to OT in this one.
It's got to be very close. Marcus gets the ball. He's got 2 hands on it this time. Look, he stretches out, gets as much as he can.
It was a 3rd down carry, 3rd down and just over a yard, and they're going to bring out the sticks. Long. Devastating injuries. Way behind last week, and they rallied to win, and they've not an even greater comeback today. Here's a throw and a perfect strike. Jim Plunkett looks for his ace, and the tight end Christensen is open, and Plunkett puts it right between the 4 and the 6.
The only way you can stop Todd Christensen in this situation is to hold him up at the line of scrimmage. The Bills did that early in the first half. They had one of the linebackers holding him up, who wouldn't allow him to get off clean. Now he's coming off clean, and he's finding the open seam.
What a football game. 1:10 to go. It's tied. The Raiders go to the run, and Marcus Allen crosses midfield and gets down to the 47-yard line of Buffalo. Their quarterback, Joe Ferguson, went out in the second quarter. His backup, a young guy from San Diego State, Matt Kofler, had problems. But then he got hot, and the Bills have tied the game. Now Plunkett, he's got an open man. And over the 40-yard line. The Raiders might have gotten it back.
I think the Raiders...
Well,
no, wait a minute. One official is going to call that it was down. One official is going to say that Marcus was down before the ball popped loose.
If he didn't rule that, it would have been his 4th fumble of the day. He's lost 2, 1 in the end zone.
Well, Malcolm Barnwell came up with the football anyway.
We'll watch again.
Now, if Marcus hits the ground with the football in his possession, the ball is dead. Let's watch. Oh, it's close. What happened was that Marcus shielded the official who called it from the right side. He really didn't have a good look at it.
The Raiders getting close to winning range now as the clock winds down to 50 seconds and running. Game tied, 24-24. Swing pass to Marcus Allen. He's got yards, and Allen's inside the 30. And the Raiders are now in field goal range. 39 seconds left to go. So the Plunkett-led offense of the Los Angeles Raiders takes it down the field as they did a week ago, after they had a 19-10 lead over Denver, and the Broncos came from behind to take a 20-19 lead.
9 yards on the play.
Chris Bahr has hit 10 of his last 11 field goals, including the only one he's tried here today. His parents are here from State College, Pennsylvania, where his dad is the soccer coach at Penn State. His brother Matt Bahr had a big day for the Cleveland Browns as they blasted the favored Patriots at Foxborough, Massachusetts. Plunkett and the Raiders getting set. The Raiders with critical turnovers. It's really been the cause of their only defeat so far this year.
Well, I'm sure their discussion on the sideline is, you know, what should we do with the football? Should we just run the ball, run it right up the middle, just keep the ball in good position, give Bahr a chance to boot it from there, or should they try to get it down a little closer? Trying to get it down a little closer might require them putting the ball in the air. Now, with what's happened to the Raiders up until this point, they've had some turnovers. Maybe they don't want to take a chance of putting the ball in the air and having someone fumble the ball or come up with a possible interception.
Second down, less than a yard. They'll be probably trying to get more yardage because Bahr's not a long-range kicker. Very effective close. Marcus Allen runs, and he gets some more yards for the Raiders. He's inside the 25 and down to the 23. And he wisely takes it right between the hash marks to give as much range as he can, and the game clock continues to wind down. The Raiders getting set for a moment of truth in this one. Plunkett throws. Cliff Branch catches down at the 17-yard line. Now they're in good range for Chris Bahr.
But there's a penalty flag down. Maybe offsides against the Bills.
Malcolm Barnwell signaling it's against Buffalo. And the official, who's the only one that counts, says the same thing, and so there'll be an assessment. But they got more on the play. They got more on the yardage. They gained about 7, it looked like. Here's the last play.
In this situation, the quarterback has the option of throwing the ball out of bounds if his receiver is not open. But Branch is open. Romes gives him a lot of room.
Yeah, they're going to decline the penalty. So the ball is now down to the 17-yard line. It would be a 34-yard field goal attempt from here. They drop back 7 to kick, and then of course the 10 yards into the end zone, and there's the man who's going to be called on for a second week in a row. Interesting story. He was with the Bengals. They cut him in 1980, went to the Raiders, a free agent, and got a Super Bowl ring. Power run. Hawkins gets nowhere as he's stuffed at the 18, and now the Raiders will let it wind down to about 4 seconds. Call for the timeout, and the football game will be on the line as the rain starts to fall hard here in Buffalo. The wind is blowing, a gusting wind, but it's predominantly at the backs of the kicking team, the Raiders here.
You think there isn't some pressure on Chris Bahr? Oh.
And the additional problem, of course, the snap ball is going to get wet on the way back in the set down. It's up and through. The Raiders will have their 9th victory of the season against 3 defeats. If it's not good, we go to overtime.
Let's not forget that the Bills earlier broke through on an attempted punt by the Raiders. So you can bet that they're going to have all of their guys coming trying to block this. The Raiders going to have to be very careful that they give Chris Bahr a chance to boot it.
3 seconds to play. It all comes down to this field goal attempt by Chris Bahr, who's hit 10 of his last 11, and he's been deadly in this range. The hold will be at the 26-yard line. It'll be a 36-yard field goal straight away.
And the wind is just blowing the goalpost all over the place.
Heavy wind and heavy rain, and no help from the Buffalo fans. It's on the way. It's good. The Raiders do it again. On the last play of the game, the Raiders hit a winning field goal, and now the Raiders on consecutive weeks have come from behind. Actually, they tied today and then won it on the Bahr field goal. Another day at the office for Tom Flores. Unbelievable. As they win another game on the last play of the game, Raiders beating the Bills by a field goal. This is Don Criqui for Gene Washington. Now stay tuned for the second half of the NBC doubleheader coming up after these messages from your local station. With Gene Washington, we're ready to open the 4th quarter. The Raiders lead the Bills 17-3. The Bills have 3rd and 8 coming from their 46-yard line. And Lyle Alzado got an early jump.
I think that's going to be on Ken Jones, though. I think Ken raised his hand a little too soon. See, Lyle is an experienced player. He knows as soon as that offensive guy raises his hand, go across the line. Well, we don't see Ken Jones on the outside, but he lifted his hand up as soon as Lyle saw it. He came across.
It's the bull and the matador there. Kofler stood in. He knew he couldn't hit him. The play was, the whistles were blowing, or he knew he shouldn't hit him. Now the ball is set back to the 42-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 for the Bills. To compound Buffalo's problems as we open the 4th quarter, Kofler and the offense will be walking into the wind. Two wide receivers to either side for Buffalo on 3rd and 13. Down goes Kofler back at the 29-yard line. Greg Townsend, a rookie from Texas Christian, number 93. And Bill Pickell come pouring through, 71.
Number 93, Greg Townsend, who's very explosive off the ball. Comes in right in the middle. He's just pushing people away. There he is, number 93. He and Bill Pickell, they combine for the sack.